Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today I'm going to be teaching you how to combine your aerial bots into Superion. So please hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment below what is your favorite combiner out there, because there's a lot of them, and let me know in the comments below. I love to hear from you, and I always appreciate it when you leave comments. It makes my day to read your comments, so, or at least listen to them, because my text reader reads them to me. So, if you want a robot voice to read me your comment, then leave it below. Alright, let's get into today's video without further ado. Today we're going to be combining all of the aerial bots together, which means that first and foremost, we gotta bring out, and I decided the name for this thing. This is Broomtilda. I decided it. I know it's not an aerial name, but if you give it a thought, it is an aerial name. Broomtilda. That's what I'll call this mobile armor thing that you get with Silverbolt. So first and foremost, whenever you're doing the combination stage, you want to disassemble your Broomtilda. And to do that, you're just going to move this little halo thing up on its own hinge, and then you just kind of pull on the little thigh pieces on either side. You just loosen them up a bit, and then we can just kind of grab this guy and yank it. Just grab this guy and yank it off. Come on. There it goes. There we are. It's a stiff one, but you get it. And innuendos aside. So, now that you got this guy, you take the halo bit and you kind of fold it forwards, and then you fold each of the hip pieces down and rotate them so that the openings are on the back and the closed end is on the front, and the front being this big old chest piece halo thing that will be Superion's chest. And then we reach in there, and there's this little piece that's folded down, and you want to fold that piece out, and it's got a little peg on it, and that's going to connect to the back of Silverbolt. So you want that piece folded down, you want the chest piece kind of folded down, and it's just going to kind of sit there on the side. Now, we're not going to mess with the rest of these at the moment, but we will get to them soon. The next step is you want to grab your Silverbolt. Let me see if I can find it. Where you at, Silverbolt? Aha! Found it. Okay, so Silverbolt here, so the Concord, we got to transform him into his, his combiner mode. So first and foremost, take off his gun from the underside of the front of the plane thing. You can take in the nose cone if you want to, but man, that one's up to you. If you want to take in the nose cone, you can. If you want to leave the nose cone out, you can as well. I haven't really found too many issues with the nose cone. Next step, grab the front of the Concord and move it backwards. There we go. It's going to raise up 90 degrees to the rest of it, and that's going to allow you to kind of pop this head out. So, be careful when popping the head of Superion out, because he's got these two pylons on either side of his head, and those pylons do enjoy falling off. I need to put more sticky tack on them to make sure they stay. So, now that you got that guy, we're just going to kind of fold that head forwards, and it's going to lock in place right there in the center, and there's not much happening with the rest of this guy. Next step is we come around here to the back end, and this is one of the more difficult parts of the transformation, is this back tail fin. We got to kind of pull it up, and it's got a hidden hinge inside of it, so when you pull it up, you'll get it at 45 degrees. Now you need to kind of wrestle it a bit. You got to wrestle, and what we're doing is we're trying to get that bar hinge to disconnect and pop this guy. You just got to pop up by just a little bit, and sometimes he doesn't want to do that. But once you get him to pop up the right amount that you need, come on now, we're on camera. Don't be like this. Let's go ahead and split those tail wings a bit. There we go. We can split the tail wings and just kind of work on that guy and pull it up and out. There it goes. Okay. There we are. It's a bit of a difficult one to get, but you just got to wiggle it around, and it causes a gap to appear below the tail. And that gap, if you use your finger and feel in there, you'll find there is a port, and that port will directly connect to the piece that we were just talking about on the chest of Superion. So now that we've got him we've got the back tail fins folded up, and they're going to be out of the way. We can then take this, the front of his plane mode, and we can, there's a way to rotate it. We just got to figure that out real quick. Come on. Being out there it goes. You got to snap it and let the bar hinge hang low, and then you can rotate it after that, and it's just going to kind of fall down and collapse down. And that's going to leave you big old area there. Now, if you want to at this point, you can take Superion's gun, and we can store we can store Silverbolt's gun right in the same place we did before. So in vehicle mode, I just wanted to take it out so it didn't get in the way during the transformation. Now you can also fold in the wingtips on either side of Silverbolt here, and that should be done. So next step is we are going to now combine him with the chest piece of Superion. So take your Silverbolt, and if you feel at the bottom of the Silverbolt, you will find there's some ridges. There's two little bitty slits in the bottom area, and those are going to fit into these two grooves that are sticking out of Superion, so of his chest area. So let's go ahead and mesh those things. Now it can be a little bit of a pain to get this guy right, because these are some really tight connections. So you just got to kind of feel around, and when you get it locked in right, and try not to fold that tail fin down again. Oop, there we go, cool. Once you get it kind of locked in right, you can fold that back panel that has the peg in it forwards, and it should snap in place if you've lined the grooves up right. Now it's still loose because this chest piece needs to fold forwards, and it locks in place. And now that the chest piece is locked in place, and that back little tab is locked in place, we can make sure this the tail wings are folded correctly. There we go. We don't want to strain the plastic or anything like that. There it goes. Ah, good. Locked into place. And now this thing just kind of hangles around. It just kind of hangs. So that is Silverbolt combined. Now we got Silverbolt combined, let's set him off over here in his little bitty stumpy form. He got stumpy little legs, and of course, no arms. It's only a flesh wound. Oh, Monty Python. Okay, setting him off to the side, let's go back to Bruntilda here, and we're going to grab Bruntilda, and we're going to yank Bruntilda in half. And each of these in halves, you can imagine, like, split apart, and they each fly, and then when they get closer to their own individual members, they split again into the arm lengths and the leg lengths. You can just kind of imagine this happening. I really like this thing, and I really wish they gave it the name Bruntilda. Next step, take one of the leg thingies, okay? And these leg guys are all sorts of folded up. So we got to find out how to unfold it. So use your hands and find the heel, which is this little bit sticking out. That will actually be the heel. You can fold it in if you want, or you don't have to. Then reach around, find that piece, and then go to the other side, and you'll find that these two little grabby things sticking out, and that's actually his foot. But you got to get his foot to come out. Come on, Mr. Foot. Come on, Mr. Foot. Come on, Mr. Foot. What's wrong with you? All right, let's go around and, oh, maybe we should take, so come around here to the back of the leg and find the knee and thigh bit that are each folded down, and fold those up, and it'll lock into place. And then you got to grab the thigh bit that's at the very top and fold that up, and that's going to lock in place. And it's actually on a nice little ratchet because that's the knee. And now that that's done, we should be able to stick our fingers through the backhand side of this and fold that foot piece down. There we go. And then that foot will lock into place very well. So much better than Menasor, this foot is. That lock is sturdy and strong. I really wish that the Scorponok mold had such a sturdy lock. Now we've got one leg transformed. Now we're going to come over here to the other leg piece, and we're going to follow the same steps. So reach in the underside of it and pull the knee part up till it locks in place, and then grab the little bit of the little square thigh piece and pull that up. And then push your finger through and push that foot down and lock the foot into place. And we've got 2 feet. Nice. Now we're gonna mess with the arms in a minute, but first and foremost, let's take care of these feet. So we got to find our feet guys, right? So we've got 1 feety guy, right? Are you the feety guy? No. You are the handy guy. So we don't need handy guys. We need feety guys. All right. So we need feety guys. Yes. Okay, cool. We got air raid and the one that I always forget the name of. I'm terrible at names, I swear. So we've got the two leg aerial bots, the one with the 1 pin and the other one. I don't think it matters which leg they go on. So we're just going to kind of transform them and get them prepared to become legs. So grab the... Oh, man. I can't wait till this humidity's gone in Florida. This has been insane. I gotta run a dehumidifier in my house all the time. Anyway, grab the front of the plane and pull it back. And it's going to kind of fold backwards, and it's just going to roll all the way back. It's kind of a neat thing what it does there. And then that's kind of it. We can go ahead and fold these wings back if you want. Then this will actually make it a little easier to combine him into leg form. Go ahead and take off the 2 weapons on either side of, I'm going to call this one air raid. Oh, sure shot's the other guy. So this is air raid. Okay, now we're going to combine him with the leg, and the best way to do this is if you feel around towards the tail fins, you'll find that there's these 2 little ports that stick out on each side, and find the leg, and if you feel at the bottom, you'll find there's a port and another port exactly where they are on this guy. So you want to line up those 2 ports, and when you do, everything else about this falls into place. Look at that. So easy. So easy to fall into place right there. Perfect. Nice. I like how this all comes together. Now that you got him connected, and you make sure that that center bit is complete, give him a nice little push to even out that closed-in area there. That's the underside of a plane, which I kind of think is neat. We're going to go ahead and put his little weapons back in each of his wing ports. So they're out of the way. And that is how you make 1 leg. Which leg is this? We'll figure that out. Ah, it's the left leg. So that's how you make the left leg. Now, we'll set the left leg on the left-hand side. Keep it easy. Next step, get the other guy. Go around here to his nose cone area, and we're going to pull that back, and it's going to rotate all the way back around, and not so far. Not so far. Just enough. Just enough. There we go. You can, if you want, like, disconnect that other part, and then if the entire thing folds back, but then his head is revealed. We don't want his head revealed. We just want to fold all of this stuff backwards and have it work. Let's see. Does it? Yeah. So each of your noses are folding the correct amount. The correct amount. Cool. All right. Now we're going to combine this guy. We don't actually. I'm going to try and combine him without taking the weapons off this time. And you just line up those 2 back pieces and just kind of give them a nice little push. Once you've lined up those 2 tail fin pegs, or ports, to the pegs that are on the back of the leg, everything else kind of comes together. Good grief. I don't know why I'm sweating so much lately. Yeah. All right, there we go. Boom, boom, and boom. Connected, connected, connected. There we go. And fold those guys up. Fold those little wings out on either side if you want to, or you can keep them all folded up, and all the wings can just be folded up there. And that is another leg complete. I think it's looking pretty good. If I could just figure out how to get this nose cone to work better. It's good enough. So those are the legs complete. Now let's go ahead and connect the legs. Make sure you figure out which one's the right one and which one's the left one. You don't want to make that mistake. Nuts. Well, couldn't done an episode here at Blind Prime without knocking something over, right? Here we go. And we're going to slip that little bit of thigh sticking out above the knee is going to slip into the groove on the back of the leg. And we're going to fold your wings up because you can't make legs with those wings. They're just too close together. There we go. Slide it in. And now we have legs. He is all legged. Yes, he's been legified. All right. Now he's the Black Knight after he's lost his arms. So we're going to set him off over there to the side. Make sure you don't set him on anything. There we go. I do like how sturdy this guy ends up being and how everything just kind of meshes with him. He's really nice that way. Make sure those pieces are together. Okay, cool. All right. Now for the last bits. We have, if I remember right, this guy is one we covered yesterday. And then we have Slingshot. Nice. So we have Fireflight and Slingshot. Fireflight is the left arm, and Slingshot is the right arm. So we are going, at least I remember that, right? So we got to figure out which one's the left and which one's the right, and that's easy enough. Find the thumb on the hand. And if the thumb's at the top and the little wing bit is hanging low, then that's the right hand. Okay, no, and that's, so the other, where did the other one go? Here's the other one, and this one is the left hand because the thumb is there on top. That's left. Cool. So we're going to set these guys across. Of course, you can always like flip the thumbs around, but then it doesn't work well. So, got those two guys. Let's go ahead and combine them. Now, these guys are kind of neat to combine, and it's very similar to how how Vortex combines and how Drag Strip combines and how Dead End combines. So we're going to set it up with the nose is facing the shoulder and the tail is facing the fist. And once you get that, we're just going to kind of like rub them together a bit and get all of these. There's a lot of connection ports here, and they've got to all get connected together. And it can be a little difficult to do this because this little rectangle bit there doesn't always like to disconnect them. So if this doesn't disconnect it, I'll have to pull out my keys and manually set it up. So hopefully we don't have to do that today. And I can just get this guy to line up. Let's find the two ports there on the legs. Find the two ports down here at the bottom. Line the ports up. I always find it's easier to line up the leg ports. That is the best way to kind of get everything to fall into place. If those ports are lined up, all the other ports will line up, as long as the arm doesn't try to unfold itself. So let's get this, lower that hand real quick, lower that other side there, and let's see if we can get this right. There's a port, and there's a port. Okay, nuts. Come on. Come on now. Let's see. This part is kind of the hardest part of the transformation. It doesn't like to connect as well as like Drag Strip and Dead End connected to Menasor. That was a really good connection compared to this one, because these guys are just, it just doesn't want to ever connect. Come on now. Come on now. There it is, right there. Come on, line up. Line up. There you go. There you go. Line up. Did you line up? Huh? No. Why? All right, let's try it again. Line that port up, line that port up. Hey, maybe I'm doing the wrong arm. Maybe I'm doing the wrong arm. We're going to try it on the other arm now because it's not lining up on that arm because it's being annoying. Let's see. All right, put that piece there and that piece there, and there it goes. Okay, I had the arms wrong. Oh, man, 1 second. Good grief. It just finished storming here at my place, and we had a few windows open, so excuse the waterworks coming off of me. It's all just humidity. Ugh. Tell you, if I ever move, I'm moving to a place with far less humidity. So, next step is, now that you got this, now that you've got Slipstream connected, or Slingshot connected, we want to go ahead and disconnect these two guys. And this is that part I was talking about where it's difficult to get this to disconnect. All right. There. See, it just doesn't ever want to, it doesn't want to do it. It doesn't want to do it. So that's when you reach in your pocket, you pull out your keys, you grab this key here. Or, no, you grab a thin key. Let's see. Where's my safe key? I got a safe key on here. They're thin. Let's take a look. So, this is definitely hurting this guy. I've tried it multiple times, and I can never seem to get these aerial bots to separate like everybody else is supposed to separate. So, it is really annoying. There it goes. I don't like it. I don't like that I have to use my keys to separate the two pieces of the bot, but you know what? And you got to do it sometimes. So that's that side, and there's that side. Let's go ahead and attach it up here. There we go. Connected. Now that they're connected, go ahead and split the arms. There it goes. And we're just going to drag each arm, each half of him up and down, and then we got to lock them into place. Doesn't ever want to... No, don't you disconnect yourself up there, you silly thing. Okay, that's in. That's connected. Now, the lower one doesn't want to lock into place all the time. You got to fight it to lock it. It's a little unreasonable how much work you got to put into this to lock that joint there into place. And it just refuses. Why are you doing this to me? Huh? There it goes. Oh, that's a solid connection point. I don't like how loud that is, but that's connected. And we've got our left arm. Yay, left arm. For some reason, this guy, I thought he worked on the right arm. Maybe he does. Maybe I'm confusing things, but oh well. Well, we've got his left arm done. Let's set that off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and use the keys immediately on this other one because I don't want to spend 3 minutes trying to get this to work. I don't have any faith that it will work. So we're just going to go faithless here and disconnect it. Now, to do this, if you feel on the underside of the plane, you'll find there's a thin rectangle kind of hole. And if you put a key in there, or any straight thin piece of metal, I advise metal because, you know, it doesn't break off in there, and that would be bad if you broke something off in there. And you don't have to give it much force, just a little bit, and you're going to spring down a little spring in there that locks everything in place. So that's how you do it with a key. And honestly, I think it's the best way to do it because the arm, for some reason, does not like working the way it's supposed to. So next step, we're going to then just go ahead and transform this arm piece. We're going to transform each of them. Come here. There it goes. Disconnect that. Fold it upwards. Snap it into place. Snap that lower part into place. Now let's go ahead and put the nose at the top. There it goes. Oh, look at that. First try. Wow. Okay, that made me happy. I don't ever get it on the first try. So there's the first try there on the upper part. Now let's come down here to the lower part, and we're going to go ahead and connect the lower part of Fireflight. Nuts. Did not mean to do that. Let's try that again. Let's go ahead and pull this piece up just a bit. There it goes. Let's go ahead and try and just connect you guys together. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Connect. Lower that arm. Maybe the hand was getting in the way. There it goes. Yeah! Yay! All right. Now we can go ahead and snap that guy forward. It doesn't... I hate using this much force. Let's see. There it goes. Here. There we are. And we've got our ratcheted shoulder bit. And we have a full arm. Now, let's go ahead and combine our arms together and finish this guy up. I misplaced his gun. I don't know exactly where his gun is right now, but it's okay. We don't have to use it for today's video. So, take his right arm, whichever pieces you decided to add to it, because I think they're just switchable. And you're going to come over here to the foot pad for Silverbolt that's kind of sticking up on the side. Pull that wing back just a bit to give yourself more space. Line this little socket bit up, like with Menasor, up with that thing on the side, and then push down until it clicks. Then you can fold the wing back over top the back of it. Now, come around here to the other side, fold that wing up. Then we're going to take this arm, and we're going to line that section for the shoulder up with that foot pad of silver bolt that sticks out the side, and slide it on top. Come on, there it goes, snapped into place effectively. Close that wing on the back. There we are. And that is how you make Superion. We can just go ahead and stretch him out a bit. There he is. Yeah, I like these. I like how much easier his ankles are to rotate than Menasors. Menasors are a little bit harder. There we go. Yeah, you can play with them and stuff, and you can join me tomorrow for a full in-depth review of Superion, and I'll compare him to the other combiners that we have so far. So once again, we're doing a combiner comparison video. How exciting! I'm excited about this. I never got to own combiners when I was growing up because, you know, they were just too many pieces and too expensive, and my parents never went for it. So I'm very ecstatic, very happy to be able to get a hold of combiners now and have them so much better than they would have been when I was a kid. Full articulation, it stands well. You know, as a blind person, I don't need to worry about knocking these guys over because they're sturdy. So please, tune in tomorrow where I'm going to go... I found the gun. Let's go ahead and give him his gun. Alright, here we go. Fold that bit up and slip the little siege peg. There's a peg in the gun, and you can find that by finding the hinge. And each of these hinges will fold things upwards, but on the underside of it, there's this little bitty peg that you can pull out with your fingertip. And then we're going to go ahead and attach that peg right into his hand here. So go ahead and plug that peg in right there. There it goes. Nice. Now we can fold that bit down, and we can fold that bit down, and now Superion's got his Superion weapon. It's superioristic. Yes. Thanks for watching. Please tune in next Prime where I'm going to go over this guy in depth from the blind perspective. Until then, bye-bye for now.